I don't know how to describe this to someone who hasn't been through it, but to be told that your child has a life-threatening illness is, it consumes you completely. I mean, nothing else in the world matters. Everything else just pales in comparison. There's nothing that comes close.
They weren't really sure what it was. Originally it was sarcoma botrytis, which is a rare type of soft tissue tumor. After that, between January and April, I had three other diagnoses, and then finally diagnosis of non-HPV cervical cancer, and that's what we think it is now.
I remember the first call from Rich. He said it was, with a choking voice. The doctor just said, Micaela had cancer, and my mind just went blank.
Micaela looked at me and said, I want to die. At that moment, I remembered when I was very, very fortunate when she was born, I was allowed to catch her. These are the first hands that touched her. And I remember looking down at her, and one of the things I promised to myself is, I'm not going to lie to her. What I ended up saying to her was, there are a lot of very smart people with a lot of experience, technology, the latest developments, and they're going to do everything that they can to make you as well as possible, as soon as possible.
Chemo lasted for 3 or 4 weeks, and then by the 4th week they found another tumor. So I was hospitalized immediately, and I started radiation. They did a scan after I finished radiation, and there were more tumors in my lungs and my liver. So I started immunotherapy, and then my lung collapsed after I started. I'm still on immunotherapy now, so it's been more than a year, but everything's getting better. When I was much younger, I was interested in kind of neurology, neuroscience, neurosurgery, or cardiac surgery.
Over time, she started thinking about something very special for her. And with her interest in medicine and her desire to be a cardiothoracic surgeon, it seemed like a natural.
I still remember when I was at a medical camp at Johns Hopkins this summer. I got back, was ready to do my homework, and I got the phone call saying my wish has been granted and they're flying me down to Texas. It was, I was like almost gonna scream, but I was in my dorm room and I couldn't do it. I shadowed with surgeon Dr. Provenza, and she was really nice, really good mentor. And every time she would do a surgery, she would point out the different parts, anatomical parts of the heart and what they were doing, so I could learn more about the steps and processes of the particular surgery. Every time we had free time when we went to get lunch, she would always talk to me about the cases, always give me advice about like how to get to where I want to be, how to become a cardiothoracic surgeon. I went to the research labs, which was amazing too. I got to hold a decellularized heart, so there weren't any heart cells in it, no cardiomyocytes. It was just the kind of skeleton, well, the muscle of the heart, the backbone. I saw a lot of experiments going on with getting stem cells to kind of grow back in that heart, and it's nice because the patient can't reject it because it's their own stem cells. I met Dr. Frazier. He studied under DeBakey and Cooley. Cooley performed the first artificial heart transplant in the United States. I met Dr. Caselli. He's the chief of cardiothoracic surgery. I met a lot of people at the research labs. I met Carrie, and she gave me a tour of the museum at Texas Heart, which has all the cardiac interventions over history. I saw the business aspect to it. I saw the research aspect. It was more than just looking at my future, but also helping me decide kind of where I want to be and where I want to go, and what I want to do and how I can make that happen.
Even before the wish, right? Just the fact that Make-A-Wish, the organization itself, enable her to actually go through that process of like, these are things that, or like imagining what she could possibly do. I mean, that experience itself is, and the wonderful place here, where she could come and actually, just kind of put herself in the place where, well, what do I want to do?
I still remember the first time I came in when I made my wish. I went through the front doors and met my volunteer wish granters downstairs, and then they brought me upstairs to the inspiration room, and they kind of gave me a tour of the castle. Since then, I've been coming here before treatment. People here, like everybody who kind of shares the area, they get it. They get being in my position.
For her to have to focus on it, to think, okay, I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to be able to do anything at all. What am I going to do? And to spend time thinking about that itself is a gift.
It helps healing. I really think it helps healing, definitely on the spiritual side.
This is a life-changing experience for her, and it's cemented her decision to do everything she can to become a cardiothoracic surgeon.
Everything that happened during my wish was more than I could have imagined. You know, people say the sky is the limit, but it's more than that. And I know you went over the top for me, and you go over the top for a lot of other kids, and it's just marvelous that you can make this happen.
Everyone who has ever made a donation to Make-A-Wish, your sponsors, the gift that you have given my daughter is beyond measure. Language, spoken language, written language is impotent in the face of a gift like this.